If you signed up for your first triathlon, it's likely that you've signed up to either a go try or a sprint because they're safe and conducive distances for first timers and novices. But there are a lot of distances that you can consider as you go along your triathlon journey. So in this video, I'm going to talk about these different distances and how they are loosely linked to set parameters, because quite often the terrain and the venues won't allow distances to be exact. But organisers do make every effort to try and standardise so an athlete can move from one race to another and see their improvement or see their performance alongside other athletes who've taken on the same triathlon. So the shortest distance we have is called the Go Try. The Go Try is really gauged for first timers and novices to step into the world of triathlon safely. And this would consist of up to a 200 metre swim, a 10-kilometre bike and a 2.5-kilometre run. Now those distances will vary depending on the venue. As I've said, for example, you might undertake the bike section on grass and they're likely to almost halve that distance of that bike section down to sometimes 5 kilometres. The run format may not be conducive of 2.5 kilometres, so it might be shortened ever so slightly. Now the organisers won't add a strange twist or turn to get it up to 2.5 kilometres, so they might actually only have a 2-kilometre run because it's conducive of a nice, easy course. The second distance is a little bit more regimented and it's often being used as an international distance, and this is what we call a super sprint. And the super sprint consists of a 400 metre swim, a 10k bike and a 2.5k run, and they make every effort to standardise those distances because some athletes use them as a competitive race throughout the season. The third one is the sprint distance. Now the sprint distance has a slight change in the distance of the swim because it's a 400 metre swim in a pool and it's a 750 metre swim if it's in open water. But again, organisers reserve the right to change those distances depending on what is conducive for the athletes. So sometimes the open water swim in a sprint may actually only be 400 metres, but it could be as high as 750. The bike section, if it's on open roads, is normally around 20 kilometres, but again, it may not be exact depending on the actual terrain or the venue. And the run is normally a 5-kilometre run. Again, sometimes extended if it's off-road, sometimes reduced if it's conducive to the venue. Beyond that, we're moving up now to what's called a standard or an Olympic distance triathlon, which is, you can see how this is happening now, it's actually doubling in distance. So the standard distance is a 1.5 kilometre swim if it's in open water. It might be slightly shorter if it's in a pool. It's a 40 kilometre bike and a 10-kilometre run. After this, we're moving into these mysterious and exotic distances that we call iron distances. The first of the iron distance is the half iron distance, which consists of a 1.9 kilometre swim, a 90 kilometre bike, and a 20 or 21 kilometre run. Now, what they try and do with the run is they try normally and make it what we call a half marathon distance, so that is 21 kilometres. So you'll find that athletes and organisers like to standardise those distances because it is actually half of the full iron distance. Now the full iron distance consists of a 3.8 kilometre swim, which is 2.4 miles, a 180 kilometre bike, which is 112 miles on the bike, and then you would finish with a 42 kilometre run, which is a full marathon of 26 miles. Now, brand new athletes can access any of those distances. There is no rule or law that says that you can't do any of those distances. At first try, we feel it's really important to start your journey in a safe manner and understand your sport in the safe parameters of the shorter distance, and then work your way up so you've got longevity in your triathlon journey and work your way up to the bigger distances. But there are athletes that have jumped in at Olympic standard distance or even 70.3 and iron, but they're very much distances that you would seek out support of a club or seek out the support of experienced coaches or experienced athletes to support you. So I do hope that video's helped you in understanding the distances of triathlon. As you've probably gathered, they do vary, and sometimes weather conditions can have these distances change because all organisers realise that safety comes first. So sometimes inclement weather may reduce the swim or even take the swim out entirely and be replaced by a short run. And various things to do with traffic or roadworks or weather may reduce the bike sections, again with safety in mind. Because here at First Try and with all of the race organisers that we know, safety is paramount.